Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rizka Aulia Putri, third semester student of Chemistry Education 2020 at 11 Maret University. On this occasion, I will try to explain about acid and base. Okay, let's just watch the video. Do you guys know what acid and base are? Acid and base are two substances whose existence is utilized by humans for various things in everyday life. Materials that are alkaline are often used by humans in the manufacture of various types of soap, while objects that are acidic are often used as a descaling agent for bathroom floors. Citric acid types can also be found in some types of fruits such as orange, banana, and others. Okay, here's the explanation of the theory of acid and base from Arrhenius, Lowry, and also Lewis. The first theory is from Arrhenius. The Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius attributed the nature of acidity to hydrogen ions or H+ in 1884. Arrhenius acid is a substance which, when dissolved in water, will produce H+ ion in solution. For example, hydrochloric acid and acetic acid. With the equation for the reaction of hydrochloric acid and acetic acid as follows in the picture. Based on the equation of the reaction, the characteristic is that in a water solvent, the substance ionizes into hydrogen, which is positively charged with the symbol H+, and the negatively charged ion will be called the residual acid. In addition, an Arrhenius base is a substance which, when dissolved in water, will produce OH- ion. For example, sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, where the equation for the basic reaction is on the picture. Base that produce a lot of OH- in solution are called strong base, while those that produce little OH- ion are called weak base. But not all the compounds that contain a hydroxide group in their chemical formula are classified as base. Next, the second theory is from Bronsted and Lowry. In 1923, chemist Johannes Nicolaus Bronsted and Thomas Martin Lowry developed a definition of acid and base based on the ability or donor or acceptor of protons. According to the concept of Bronsted and Lowry, substances that have a tendency to donate H+ ion to other substances are acid, while substances that have a tendency to accept H+ ion from other substances are base. In this reaction, hydrochloric acid donates a proton to ammonia and forms a positively charged ammonium ion and a negatively charged chloride ion. So, ammonia is a Bronsted-Lowry base because it accepts a proton. In the product section, chloride ion is called the conjugate base of hydrochloric acid and ammonia ion is called the conjugate acid of the base ammonia. The last one is the theory from Lewis. In 1923, Gilbert Newton Lewis, a chemist from UC Berkeley, proposed an alternative theory to describe acid and base. His theory described acid and base based on structure and bonds. An acid, according to Lewis, is a substance that has a tendency to accept an electron pair from a base. Examples of some Lewis acid are sulfur trioxide, boron 3 fluoride, and aluminum fluoride. A Lewis base is a substance that can donate an electron pair. Lewis bases have a lone pair of electrons, for example, ammonia and chloride ion. Lewis explained further that an acid-base reaction is a reaction that transfers electron pair to form a coordinating covalent bond. Here is the example of acid and base. According to the Lewis theory, the reaction between boron 3 fluoride and ammonia, according to this theory, is an acid and base reaction. In this case, boron 3 fluoride acts as acid and ammonia acts as a base. This is because ammonia donates its electron pair to boron 3 fluoride. So boron 3 fluoride is act like base because he accepts the electron pair from ammonia. Okay, the next topic I want to tell about the characteristic of acid. There are several characteristics of acid that I will explain. Okay, the characteristic of acid. The first is some types of acid are safe for consumption. If they are felt by the tongue, they will taste sour. Strong acid also taste sour, but they are not recommended for testing because they are damaging to skin tissue. The second, if measured with a special tool, the pH will be less than 7. The third, if exposure to the skin, it will feel sour, for the acid is strong. And it can also damage wood. The fourth, acid is corrosive when exposed to iron or metal. Can conduct electricity because it contains electrolytes. Next, the valence of an acid is the number of H+ ion that can be produced by one molecule of acid. And the last, residual ion in the acid are negative ions formed from the acid after releasing H+ ion. Before, we have done to talk about characteristic of acid substance. Next, we will talk about the characteristic of basic substance. First, base have a bitter taste. Pure base is crystalline solid. Base have a pH greater than 7. Base is caustic or demanding skin tissue if the level is high. Base can be used to emulsify oil, and the last, base can conduct electricity because it contains electrolytes. Of base, there are soap, medicine, detergent, toothpaste, and others. And the example of acid is banana, apples, vitamin C, vinegar, and also car batteries. So the question is, how do we detect or how do we know a compound is acid or base? There is a way, namely by using an acid-base indicator. The indicator is a complex compound that can react with acid and base. With indicator, we can tell if the substance is acid or base. Now, the indicators themselves are divided into several types, namely neutral indicators, Okay, the first is neutral indicator. Do you know what neutral indicators are? Neutral indicators are indicators made using plant extract such as flowers, tubers, red skins, and colored leaves. Well, specific examples are turmeric, red cabbage, purple cabbage, hibiscus flower, roses, red spinach, and geraniums. By using this indicator, we can determine whether a solution is acid, basic, or neutral. The way to find out is by dropping the plant extract into a solution, then watching the color change. From the color change, we can tell which solution contains acid or base. Next is the universal indicator. In contrast to neutral indicators, universal indicators are a mixture of various indicators that can show the pH of a solution from its color change. To show acidity and basicity, you can look at the pH range of 1 until 14. Universal indicators can be in the form of paper or solution. This is the explanation squad. First is paper. The paper here is in the form of absorbent paper in the form of string, and each box of this type of indicator packaging is equipped with a color map. Well, how to use it is very easy. All you have to do is dip a piece of indicator paper into the solution you want to measure the pH of. If it's turned red, it means the solution is acid. And if it's turned blue, it means the solution is alkaline. Next is solution, as described in the table below. The last one is pH meter. Different from neutral indicators and universal indicators, a pH meter is an electronic device or a more modern tool to measure the pH or degree of acidity or alkalinity of a liquid. There is a special electrode that functions to measure the pH of semi-solid materials.
Do you guys know why we should have to study acid and base? And what are the benefits for us? By studying acid and base, we can avoid the dangers of using this acid and base to regulate the pH of stomach acid so that we can minimize gastric disease, and also we can find out what the materials that contain acid and base. Okay, so that's the material that I can convey in this video. Hopefully that what I explained earlier can be useful for all of us, and hopefully it can be easily to understand. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and also comment, and see you in the next material.